All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and me. All right, so again, more sad news from the music world as keyboardist Andy Fletcher from the iconic 80s band Depeche Mode has passed away at age 60, which is a bit on the young side. Yeah, I was a fan of Depeche Mode, always have been, as somebody who spent a lot of time hanging out at the college radio station. Depeche Mode was really a staple of what we did. And whether it was Personal Jesus or People Are People or Policy of Truth, all of those songs really resonated with that format. They were pop, but they were kind of dark, and they were definitely perfect for college radio. And oftentimes they skirted the top 40 as well, because they had the ability in some cases to make people get up and dance a little bit. I remember there being a few extended remixes of Depeche Mode singles, and they were always very entertaining. And this guy, Fletch, he was really important to the sound, very influential. Here's the story, right? So he's died at age 60, and this is following the death of Alan White from the band Yes, the drummer from Yes. So in a little over 24 hours, you've got two very iconic musicians. Now, in the case of Alan White, again, not a lot was explained. He was a bit older, 72. Again, 72 is not ancient. And, really no cause was given. They said he had a short illness. In this case, Andy Fletcher, according to a person close to the band, said that he died from natural causes at his home in the United Kingdom. Natural causes. Now, I'm wondering if over at Wikipedia or over at some medical terminology website, if they've redefined what it means to die from natural causes. I'm just curious, because this is getting, well, it is not getting, it is bizarre. The person who gave the news about Fletcher spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak publicly. Okay, so it kind of sounds as if they want to keep this under wraps. The statement from the band: "We are shocked and filled with overwhelming sadness with the untimely passing of our dear friend, family member, and bandmate, Andy Fletcher. Fletch had a true heart of gold and was always there when you needed support, a lively conversation, a good laugh, or a cold pint. Fletcher formed the group that would become giants of British electro pop, along with fellow synth players Vince Clarke and Martin Gore and lead singer Dave Gahan. And they formed this band all the way back in 1980, and truly a staple of college radio and really beyond. I mean, they influenced so many groups, and people kind of delved back into their material later on because it stood up really well. I mean, this is music, even though some people will call it period music, like it was perfect for that period of time. Doesn't really matter. The production value, the lyrics, the subject matter, all of it really spoke to a band that was very dynamic and interesting. And to be honest with you, I'm not trying to make something out of nothing when I do this video. I'm not out here at this point. I'm actually getting frustrated that there is no intellectual curiosity, that there is very little honesty in what's occurring. And if you raise these points, people say, well, you're just a nut. No, because the definition of dying from natural causes, right, the way I used to hear this definition was some really old dude who fought in World War II. For instance, I'm just throwing out kind of like this generic, died of natural causes thing. They were 93 and they died of natural causes. They were 89, right? Lived a long, full life. And, even in that, I'm still curious as to, did their heart just stop? Why did their heart stop? What caused it to stop? I'm sure there's a more in-depth explanation than natural causes, even for somebody who's that old. But in the case of Andy Fletcher, who's only 60, 60 isn't even retirement age, people. So that's odd. That's weird. Okay. So if somebody comes along and says, yeah, too bad about Bill, died of natural causes, he was 62, I'm going to say, that doesn't sound very natural. That sounds unnatural, right? It's like your body just gives out, and that's the natural thing that's supposed to happen. Yeah, when you're really, really old and they don't want to spend a lot of time, doing an autopsy because they think, okay, this guy lived to 94. We don't really owe it to his family or the world to dig into exactly what happened to him. But if you're a bit younger, and I don't think that's right, by the way, like I just said, I don't think that's the right way to handle that. However, it's more understandable than Joe dies at age 60 from natural causes. Now, I'm not stating out loud what I think is going on here. A lot of people on other sites might be a little bit more direct. I'm just being slightly inquisitive here. That's all. And in the midst of all this, you've got a guy who's no longer here, who was a legend in this particular format. And I think we should probably focus more on that, his contributions to music. But this idea that you can't kind of explore what happened a little bit here, I think it's kind of like, his life and everything will shield people from kind of looking over the fence and saying, gee, I wonder what happened to this guy. I wonder if we can prevent other people from dying of natural causes at age 60. What did Andy Fletcher do that may have precipitated this? Or did he do nothing? Or did he do something that everybody has been doing, right? But nobody seems to want to investigate if this is the problem, because we've been told that there is no problem and to look over somewhere else. It's frustrating because I want to see people live a long, healthy life. And in the past couple of years, it kind of seems like whether it's children, whether it's senior citizens, and I guess everybody else in between, but especially those two groups of people, it seems as though society is turning its back on groups, like entire groups of people, and it's very obvious to me. Now, again, I'm not going to state here on this platform some other things that I think could be going on because it's obvious. Anyway, it's totally obvious. So if somebody wants to do some investigative journalism and isn't afraid, right, that, all your funding is going to get pulled or your boss is going to fire you because you decided to actually do journalism, it would probably be a heroic thing right now, a completely heroic and courageous thing to do some investigating into this and to get to the truth. This is a band that had a song called Policy of Truth, right? It's a bit ironic. Anyway, again, our thoughts, our prayers, our well wishes go out to the rest of this band and the family of Fletch and everybody who, is kind of hurt and devastated by this news. Again, this is kind of a regular occurrence now in the music world. And some of these people are well known. Some of them aren't. It doesn't really matter. It's still happening. And I hope someday we can get to the bottom of it. That's all. Just let us know what's actually going on out there. And I'll be happy to let it go for all those people that are like, oh, here he goes again. He's crazy. Okay. Crazy is dying of natural causes at age 60. That's kind of crazy. And if this is a new thing, this is the new normal, that people are just, hey, is it going to get younger than 60? Is it going to go down to 50, 40? I mean, what's the cutoff? And why is that not a total red flag to most people? Yeah. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. If you want to join Patreon, it's $1 a month. It's really helpful. You can send messages. You can chat with other people. It's a little forum in there. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, and you can support the channel as well, it is much appreciated. And I will see you soon.